Okay, I'm going to do a review on Fathom in a bit, but I'm just going to tell you the little backstory before I do that. So this is Fathom, Fathom.finance. It's going to do a pre-sale in 1 day and 8 hours. And this all came about because I did a video called I Cannot Fathom This Out. The Fud Farm seems to go back on his word. And the CEOs or the people in charge of Fathom.finance kind of came onto the comment section and said, I don't think you're being fair here and all of this kind of thing. I can read it out. So these are the two. Colton Merson 8286. In the spirit of fairness, how about you come into our Discord and find out about what our protocol is all about? I would love to personally welcome you and help you understand what we really are. Okay. So then I think I've asked some questions and stuff. But I think because of the time difference, they haven't really got back to me from the last question asked. So I've had a look at the Discord and that kind of thing. Well, I have briefly looked at it. I found the website anyway. That was the main thing. Okay. So, and the other CEO, we did KYC and showed our faces, which they have done. The video was recorded before the rugs. So what happened was there's these rugs, which got Murdoch and Fud Farm together saying that they would not do any more AMAs where the people wouldn't show their faces or they weren't KYC'd or TKYC'd, whatever the hell that means. Okay. So the very next sort of day, he did another, in our timeline, it seemed the very next day, he then had this other project, which was this Fathom project, where they had faceless people on.
Our total supply will always be at 1 billion.
Okay, 1 billion. Well, and this guy,
All that has acted like this in the past. I've no. Yeah, so, we are definitely a first mover.
So we've got these two white knights, maybe avatars anyway, as knights. And obviously, a lot of people are a bit peed off with this. You said this, and I was like, what's going on here? Like, you say one thing, and you're kind of going back on your word. Okay, but what? And Jonathan actually came back and said, you're wrong about this. This is recorded before, blah blah blah. But obviously, in our timeline, we can see this looks like it's after. And like they're having a go at us for not sort of saying, "Oh, you didn't read the description enough." It explains that this is recorded before and that kind of thing. But we're YouTubers. We're just general people sometimes as well. And we just look at things. We've got other things to do in our day. Okay, we've got lives to lead and that kind of thing. Well, I don't have a life to lead, in fairness. Okay. So anyway, these guys sort of said, you haven't given our project its dues. You need to give it a proper look over. It's not a Ponzi scheme and that kind of thing. So I had a look, and so let's have a look at it. So first of all, the Fathom website. Let's have a look at this. Pre-sale, another day. Mission. Imagine a new system of tokenomics where the selfish actions of individuals benefit the community as a whole and the individual unjustly rewarded for their contributions. Innovate a completely new system called stable staking that fairly rewards existing and future stakers while encouraging holding a non-tradable dividend token called MAS. Now that's interesting. So they seem to have like two tokens, but I mean, I could be wrong here. Is there one token or two tokens? Because in this, he says here, it's actually only one token. Because it seems to be, when I was going through it, it looked like there was like about 7 tokens, okay? But it says here it's actually only one token. I thought there was 2 tokens, Fathom and Mass. I don't know. And then there seemed to be other stuff going on as well. But I'm not sure. The trouble with this, let me just keep going. Let me just keep going. Reward every 15 minutes, a wave of Fathom. Right, so that is a token, isn't it? Or a coin, whatever you want to call it, token coin. Fathom from our massive reward pool called the Ocean is sent to the stakers based on the amount of mass held. Mass is forfeited when unstaking, with 75 being burnt and the other 25% being reflected back to the remaining stakers. The Fathom ecosystem puts our taxes to work by creating external revenue streams that are used as buybacks to replenish the Fathom given as rewards. These buybacks, known as the weather, fuel the Fathom circular economy for traders and stakers alike. It's really complicated. It's just, so this is their ecosystem. You've got this big circle here. I wish I had a bigger monitor to put it all on. It's just, I've just moved house and everything's still up in the air. But anyway, stable staking. You've got this mass, ocean, you've got waves, you've got treasure, you've got tides. I think it's overly complicated, right? And I know a lot of people in the comment section of the FUD farm were sort of saying, I won't be investing in this. It's far too complicated. And it is. These guys have been doing this for like a year. So obviously they're really into their project. And I can understand them coming into my comment section and defending their project. I would, if I've spent a whole bloody year on this and putting all this stuff together, I'd be a bit peed off and I'd be defending my project as well, if it's a legitimate project. Okay. So if it's got external revenue sources, then clearly it's not a Ponzi scheme. Okay, so first things I'll say that. So let's just have a look at this white paper. Okay, and I think the critical things, right, a new way, right. Fathom's nautical charts, right. Right, let's just go through this. Right, so definition of Fathom. Right, new way to sustain. Right. Fathom will be using external revenue streams in DeFi to constantly add value to the Fathom ecosystem and increase staking rewards. So you're going to put your stake in, and then they're going to use that. They're going to pool it all together to get further external rewards and bring it back in. It's the bottom line, I guess. 75% of all generated buy, sell, and staking tax is used to purchase revenue streams. So I think this is a thing called a jet stream, I think. The primary use of taxes, okay, so this is the most important thing that I can see. The primary use of taxes will be to purchase enough coins on other blockchains to operate as a validator for that chain. So proof of stake, basically. Validators arrange the transactions that occurred on a blockchain over a certain period of time into a block. Validators require a minimum amount of the blockchain's coins staked as collateral. This is known as proof of stake. All right. Fathom's revenue stream will increase with every buy, sell, or stake. So what they're saying is they're going to be validators. All right. And that's the way they're going to make money. Effectively going to pool our resources together to then buy expensive become phantom validators, because that's the example that they use later on. And then things get complicated. A new way to stake, stable staking. Okay, and they talk about this mass token. I think you buy Fathom and then you get a mass token. And talk about burning. Then there's the ocean, a new way to reward. You got all this ocean, treasure, waves, tides, jet stream, all these other things going on. Right. Whirlpool. And it's just a way, the way I see it is a way of circulating the money around, okay? Massively overcomplicate. Remember what they're trying to do here is to me, it just seems they're trying to raise money to become a validator, but yet they've got all this other stuff swirling around, literally whirlpools, tides, oceans. Stakeonomics. They create other words like fathom on. I can't even say it. Fathomnomics. Okay, so they're creating new sort of words. Tax, time lock, ripples. I just think they're overcomplicated. And when I see this overcomplication of something, that sort of sends off red flags to me. Why you overcomplicated this? Is it to hide something? Yeah. It's just massively overcomplicated. Unstaking. So you're going to get penalized for basically unstaking, I think. Reflections. 25% of the forfeited mass is reflected back to the remaining stakers. I actually don't really care about all this nonsense, right? Let me just go further down, holding with Fathom. Fathom's jet stream. Right. So here we go. So this is the jet stream. Oh, I'm just going to stretch my leg. I'm sat on the bed at the moment. The jet stream is a system of wallets that is exclusively used for the purchasing and operating of revenue streams in DeFi. So this is kind of the important thing I would suggest. Validators on the proof of stake blockchain and other yield protocols will generate an annual percentage yield, APY, on Fathom's jet stream. Validators produce a stable APR based on the amount of coins held. However, the USD value can drastically increase with the future value of the coin. So obviously you can lose money as well. So when you become a validator on certain ones, in this example, the Fathom one, you're going to need, it says here, a Fathom validator requires 500,000 Fathom coins to operate and would return an annual APR on coins of 25%. If Fathom FTM cost 150,000 USD at 30 cents per FTM, and the coin's price maintains for the entire year, then Fathom would expect $37,000 of revenue generated for that year. So if the price of Fathom was to increase by 10 times, then 500,000 Fathom would be worth $1.5 million. So they use a number going up. I wonder if they use one going down. Assume the price holds for a year, then 375,000 will be generated as revenue for that year. Validators will complete the same work for POS coins as ASIC miners will accomplish while proof of work coins similar to Bitcoin. ASIC hardware will become outdated with time and require additional investments. Validator will be operational for the life of the blockchain and will function with no additional investments. Validator will complete the same work. So once you've bought this validator, do you not need to spend any more money on it? So to me, a validator is like a computer, yeah, I'm guessing. I'm pretty sure. You have to buy a high-powered computer to become a validator, and then you're going to need somebody to maintain it and that kind of thing. So what is their background to being a validator? Have they done it before? Have they got proof of the profits that they've made on being a validator rather than just taking it off information off other people have done? Have they actually done it? All right. What is their background to being a validator? If we're going to trust them to become a validator, what's their background? So I'd like to know that. The other thing is, I think it's not very good to say what if it goes up by 10. I think they should also say what happens if it goes down by 90%. Okay. I don't think you should just do the upside. You know, put something in about the downside as well. Because let's face it, a lot of coins have gone down 90, 95%. So surely you should put an example where it goes down 90% just to give balance. And then you go, oh, Fathom's weather, revenue, weather, tax split. You know, there's a lot of, then there's the shield school. There's so much going on in this white paper. It's ridiculous. So that's why I kind of wanted to just focus on a couple of things. When you've got these tokens and coins, you've got to think, what is the real world application? What problem are they trying to solve? So it seems to me that the main thing is they want to get to become a validator, and they want to collect people's money together enough to buy lots of validators. So they want to become validators for all these different projects. The thing is, if you want to be an ADA validator, or like a Solana validator, requires you to spend 1.1 Solana per day. You obviously have to have a computer as well, so you've got to buy a computer. They don't really mention what computers they're buying, or if they're renting some sort of computer somewhere. Obviously, that costs money. It might not be a lot. I don't know. I haven't done validation before. Okay, what is their experience in this? That's my point. Where's the spreadsheet that says, right, it costs this per month to become a validator. This is the amount of tokens that we're going to have to buy, and this is our expected profits, that kind of thing. But also, give us the profits that you've made already on being a validator. Have you done this already? Why would we trust putting our money into this if you've never been a validator, for example? I have no idea. So where's like the proof of your being a validator and that kind of thing? Or are you just plucking numbers from elsewhere? Okay. I want to know what your experience is of that. Now, if we go further down, stake, seed sale, and pre-sale, Fathom Stakeonomics. They're just right. Fair launch, Fathom's fair sale algorithm. Okay. Token allocation, Fathom's core team. Okay, Sir J, Bishop, and Defiant. Okay. One thing I'd like for them to put is their real names on here now, because they said they come KYC'd. Why don't they put their real names in there now? Change this, update this PDF to put their real names in here. The other thing which is very worrying, I'd suggest, is for more information about the Fathom core team, please visit us online at the DeFi Nights. Now, let's see if it's open. So, open link in new thing. This site can't be reached. Okay. Can't be reached. I can't reach it. And I don't know if it's just me, but I can reach other things. But this site can't be reached. That's kind of a little bit worrying. If they can't get their website running, or one of their websites that they own, would you trust them to be validators? Because aren't they going to be validators? They're going to buy Fathom 500,000 Fathom tokens and then become validators on Fathom network and earn money doing that. Yet they can't get this website going. Also, if you look at let's think, Fathom's official media links. All right, so if you go on some of these aren't active. So for instance, Reddit, open a new window. This user has deleted their account. Yeah. So if you've done that, take this off here, will you? It's amateurish. You're launching in a day. Get rid of this. So they've got a TikTok, they've got a Twitter account, they've got a Facebook account. Get rid of it. If you're not going to use Reddit, get rid of it. Or put something on there if you are. And then there's some basically definitions of stuff. So my review of this is basically, I feel it's massively overcomplicated. They talk about waves, whirlpools, oceans, ripples, tides, all sorts of nonsense, I would say. At the very top of it, they want to become validators to earn money. That's what that's what this project to me seems to be about. It isn't really solving any real world issue. Lots of people are validators. Lots of people can become validators. Okay, what they're saying is it costs a lot of money to become a Fathom validator, but it doesn't cost that much money to become a ADA validator or a Solana validator. I think an Ethereum validator costs 32 ETH or something like that. I think an Avalanche validator costs quite a bit as well. Obviously, Phantom costs quite a bit, but there are certain blockchains which don't cost much to become a validator. You know, Solana, I think there's no sort of, there's very little, 1.1 Solana a day or something. So I want to know, you know, what their experience is in being a validator. I mean, surely if this is their main source of income, because all this other stuff is just swirling around, you know, the taxation within the actual coin of Fathom and the token of and the mass token, that's just smoke and mirrors as far as I'm concerned. That's just a load of nonsense. Okay. There's a lot of snow outside, kids outside on sledges. I think there'd be another way, in my opinion, there'd be a much simpler way of becoming a validator. So, for example, you could get fractional NFTs. So everyone could put $500 in for a fractional NFT to become validators, and then you could take your money out that way. You know, you could make money that way. So it just seems a lot of palaver buying this Fathom token and then getting a Fathom coin and then getting this mass token. It just seems too much messing about. And why is that? Why do you have to do all of this? Why have they constructed it like this? And that's my worry. It just seems overly complicated. And I'm definitely not going to be investing in it. And a lot of people aren't investing in it because it's just too complicated. Is it a Ponzi scheme? No idea. Okay, because they haven't actually bought any valid, you know, they haven't done anything yet. Okay, so they haven't got anywhere yet. You can't say yes or no whether it's a Ponzi scheme or not. All right. It's a bit worrying that this site can't be reached, the DeFi nights that says more about them, and there's no you know, the site's down. What's going on there? That seems a bit weird. And a bit worrying if they're going to become validators. Anyway, I've waffled on enough. I'm sure if the two guys want to put in the comments and say what I've said here is garbage or whatever they want to say, then they're happy to say that, and I won't delete any of their comments. If they think I've got something completely wrong, then they can say that and tell me that. But this is just my honest review of how I feel about this project. It's interesting, but it's massively overcomplicated is my summary of it. And I think there'd be a better way of becoming a validator than this. But it's their choice. It's their business. It's their model. It's their business model. What I'd always say about business models is, you know, if you want to run your business your way, don't let the people run your business. It's up to you to run your business how you want to. Yeah, don't let individuals come along and say, oh, you know, you can't run your business like this. You shouldn't be running your business like that. You know, if you want to run your business however you want, then that's entirely up to you. Now, whether it takes off, whether that's a good way of running your business, again, time will tell. But you shouldn't necessarily let individuals dictate how you run your own business. Okay. So that's fair enough. If they want to do that, they feel like they've come up with a novel way of crowdfunding. I just think it's massively overcomplicated, which I've said so many times already. And I think there would be better ways of doing it. I think simpler ways that people can actually understand. You know, taking a share in an NFT, a fractional NFT, would be one way of doing it, in my opinion. Or just actually just paying money in. Say, here you go, here's the money. Give me back 5% a year or whatever. Okay. You know, if Phantom gets 25% a year, then you take a cut and give me the other 12.5% or something like that. I don't know, but this seems just massively overcomplicated. That's all I'll say.